folks, this is Peter McPhail with Lifestyle Properties of Maine. Today we are heading out to Eddington to look at a 60-acre lot, and we are at our Bangor office location right now at the airport. It's going to be about a 20-minute drive. Come along, we'll take a look. We just crossed over from Bangor into the Queen City of Brewer. We're on Route 9 now, heading out of Brewer. And just a funny story to tell you, I gave my film crew the day off today. So I had to grab a volunteer to do the opening to this video. He was just sitting there in his truck watching the planes coming and going out of Bangor International. And this is what I love, one of the things I love about Maine is the people here. Glad to help you. And I just went up to the guy and said, hey, can you help me, can you give me a hand real quick? And he's like, sure, I'll be glad to help, whatever you need. And then he kind of hesitated and he said, oh, well, within reason. So anyways, he was glad to help film that for me. And that's Maine, that is Maine people, and they are willing to help. If you ask for help, they'll help you, within reason, of course. So there it is, folks, the Eagle's Nest sits on the bank of the Penobscot River, but the best lobster roll in the area. It's huge, ginormous lobster roll. So we crossed over into Eddington. We're coming up to the junction of Route 178, the Bradley Road on the left. That will take you into the little village of Bradley, which has a famous ice cream pit place, Spencer's Ice Cream. And then shortly thereafter into Old Town, University of Maine and Orono, roughly about 20 minutes away to the university. So we are at the Eddington Municipal Building and Fire Station. And the town of Eddington has about 2,200 people, 27 square miles in size. So if you know how many acres that is, do the math and put it in the comments below. We're in Penobscot County, small little town in Penobscot County, like I said, 20 minutes outside of Bangor. It's a shot of the Veterans Memorial here in Eddington. And the town of Eddington is named after Massachusetts native Jonathan Eddy, who moved to Nova Scotia around the 1750s. Became very successful there, and then he came back to Boston to volunteer in the Revolutionary War. And then in 1785, he and about 19 other refugees from Nova Scotia were given 9,000 acres of land in what was to become the town of Eddington. There's two ways to get to the property. I mean, you can take Route 9 the way we are doing, or you could take 1A out of Brewer, Holden, and then cut across 46. Now we're almost to the property. On the right here is the Heritage on 9. I've heard great reviews about the Restaurant and Tavern. I'm going to go back and try that later today. And then up here on the left, just before the property, is the Dollar General store. So we're literally within walking distance to both the restaurant there and pulling off Route 9 onto the right-of-way. In this right-of-way, I got my pickup truck today, no problem driving in. It is a hard pan road, so there's no gravel on it. Heavy rains, early spring, late fall. This will get muddy. But I think you could drive a small sport utility vehicle like a RAV4 or anything like that. But if you wanted to make it a better road, obviously it's going to take some gravel to do that. So there is no power. We're just coming up to the property now, and this power line easement is the beginning of the property. No electricity to it, and it wouldn't be feasible economically to run power into it. Now, the roughly 60 acres priced at $39.9, and you say, why is it so cheap? Because the majority of the land is wet. There's a building site we're going to come up onto. So if you like wildlife, if you like to watch wildlife, if you like to hunt, this is what this lot is set up for. Come pitch your tent, park your camper, build a little off-grid cabin. That's what it's really designed for. But I'm going to stop here and give you a picture down the power line. And the taxes here are just over a couple $100 a year. Another view of the power line. And according to one of the maps I looked at, it does show that the snowmobile trail is accessible from this property. So, you know, Eddington, certainly known for recreation. And we're going to look at some of that here in a minute. Some of the hiking trails here, the views are beautiful. I want to get to you to some of that so you can virtually take a hike with me. Here's a view looking down the other direction of the power line, and off to the right side you can see a blind for hunting, and there's deer sign all over the place in here. Matter of fact, there's another ladder stand. Let's walk down into this beautiful pine knoll in here with some maple mixed in. But if you were going to build something, this would be, oh my goodness, look at the deer tracks. Look at the deer tracks right there, walking right down the road. But to me, you're gonna build somewheres right in here, and then there's an old logging trail there, goes out through the woods. But it's gonna fairly quickly, folks, it drops down into a bog area. Perfect for wildlife. Certainly would give you the privacy. Nobody's going to build near you, but it quickly drops off over here. So this lot really is for somebody that wants a base camp, wants to be in the country, wants privacy, wants wildlife, wants all the recreation that Maine has to offer, because we have Chimo Pond nearby. I'm going to take you there in a minute. And Eagles Bluff, hiking on Eagles Bluff, hiking on Chick Hill. But this is really, build a camp, pitch a tent. You're close to Bangor, close to all the services, but you're in the country. Very budget friendly to get all that done. On our way to Chimo Pond, I just wanted to point out Eddington Village Center for you. It's just 1.2 miles from the property. Here's the Civic Center on the right. A lot of public events there. Civic Center is also known as Commons Hall, a small church here. All right, so at the boat launch to Chimo Pond, and this takes in 3 towns, the town of Bradley, Eddington, and Clifton. It's about 1,100 acres of water. There's about 12 miles of shoreline. Bass fishing, perch fishing, great recreational water, good boating, great swimming. Let's go take a look at Chick Hill. Okay, if you guys are ready to start our virtual hike up to the top of Chick Hill, we just arrived at the parking area. If you have a treadmill or an elliptical, jump on that sucker for, well, if you really want to be the real deal, do it for about 30 minutes. But if not, just jump onto it till you get your heart beating a little bit, and then check out the next scene with the footage of the views from east, south, and all the way to the west. Okay, jump back on your treadmill. We're off from Route 180 at Eagle Bluff. We're gonna hike up, take a look at that. So let's go on another virtual hike. Heading to Eagle here, and I come up to an intersection. That way is to the practice wall, and I'm not gonna do any rope climbing today. This way is the trail that leads up to the summit. But under a nice canopy of beech trees and maple. But I'm sure we'll break the canopy here shortly. Let's keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Good to go?
Yeah.
So I'm at the boat launch to, hey, do you guys pronounce it Chimo or Chemo?
Chimo.
Chimo, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.